What up, though, y'all, and welcome back to the EMBRACEU podcast. It's your favorite cousin, Rube, and I'm here with my girl, Meek.
What up, y'all?
And this is the EMBRACEU podcast,
where we're getting into everything geared towards the Black community. We're going to talk about a whole lot of unapologetic, a lot of unspoken conversations that goes on in our community, everyday stuff that you guys may know, went through. We're going to be touching on a lot of different subjects. But first, we're going to check it in for today. How was your day?
Tired. I was tired. I was tired. Like literally, like
no,
I was
you
up.
say it's hell. Say
I
it's
was like learning how to create content is just different. It's just a completely different ball game for me. Like I haven't been like super active on social media ever, so like it's a completely different feel for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's taking a little bit longer because I get distracted. I ain't gonna lie, I do be getting distracted sometimes.
It's the ADHD.
But yeah, like today it was long. I ain't gonna lie.
You got ADHD?
I think I do. Maybe, I don't know.
Attention span a little off.
I know I got anxiety like crazy.
You take something for it?
Mm-hmm. Meditate.
Weed.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help.
How much?
There you go.
How was it? How was your day?
My day was a day. I had to work. You know, work was work. It went by. Time flew by. I try to make every day a good day, at least. It's the least I can do because I like for my days to go good. Because when it's bad, oh.
Yeah, I get
Child.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, shake it off. Next day, greater. Shit.
We're going to be great. We're going to continue to be great.
Always. We can't be any less than great. Shit.
Okay.
Unless we choose to be.
Okay. Couple announcements for y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned through the whole podcast. We got a dope promo dropping. I'm not sure where. It's going to drop soon. And we got another one. This one is geared towards my Detroit audience. I highly encourage y'all to get out here and vote like during these primary elections for August 3rd. I don't like right now, I'm not going to say who y'all need to vote for, but we need to get Duggan out of here. Like for one, he owns the land bank.
Mm-hmm.
With him owning the land bank, we're not going to be able to buy anything if he is still in office. Like it's already so much stuff, like it's so much land out here that we can't get our hands on because of that.
Right.
The man not even from Detroit.
And he owned a damn land bank. Get your asses out here and vote. Me, myself, now I gotta get up and vote because I ain't voted in a few years. Just to be honest, because my mind think differently from y'all. I'm just, you know, I just think everything is very biased. We get cheated out of votes anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the population, but we're not gonna get into all that. That's another fucking subject. But get out here and vote. Me, myself, I'm gonna get out here and vote. Get Duggan out of this office so y'all can start investing into our, you know, ourselves. Embrace you.
Like, I'm like just piggybacking like what she's saying. Like I'm gonna do my due diligence as well. Like I'm not gonna be a hypocrite on it. I'm definitely gonna do my research, figure out who's gonna be the best candidate. I got a feeling I know who I'm gonna vote for. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, get out there and vote. We got to get out there and vote. This is our city. At the end of the day, if he is still in office for his next term, Detroit will not be a black city anymore.
Let's see our favorite cousin.
Detroit will not be a black city anymore. I'm just throwing that out there. That's it for the announcements.
All right.
What we got going on today?
Now today's topic is just a little deep. We're gonna talk about
it's a little deep.
Okay. I'm talking about abyss. Okay. You know what the abyss is, right? There's a whole nother country down below.
Okay.
We're going to talk about generational curses. We're going to talk about how we think it's okay to really throw our child out there to the wolves and get them not prepared for the world by kicking them out at 18. We also going to touch on probably a little bit, all this stuff kind of falls into general curses. Favoritism in the household, What else? what's that funny?
No.
You be touching on something personal
No.
now. Come on, speak it. Come on, touching on it.
I
But
know.
we're going to get into all that. So, when I mean by generational curses, what that mean to you? When I say that, what do that mean to you?
I can't put a straight definition on it, but like it's just something that everybody in our generation can kind of like relate to that goes on in the Black family, that is a really negative like aura, or just like it's just that negative feeling that you got from whatever experience you got with your family, I guess, like in a way.
Now, to me, generational curses is, well, like I was explaining to you earlier when I was talking to the young fella. Excuse me. Wings stuff right earlier. Coming back to hunt me like leftovers now. But to me, that really applies to an overall number of things, a variety of things. Like the fella I was talking to earlier, he based it upon going back, because he was like curses and like I don't, like that. He like, I hate that name, and I'm like, that's just what we say now. That's just the phrase for it now. But he took it all the way back to slavery. He took it back to what was he saying? Like back how we were kind of like colonized, stolen. Like we were our own people. We was never slaves. We were prisoners. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we were. We had shackles and all that. Tell me that ain't prison. Now, you know what I'm saying? So we were prisoners. And right now, when we say generational curses, we mean stuff we seen, family secrets, family relationships, trauma, just stuff that we grow up and believe that's right. Being brainwashed to, think one thing is right, and who told you that was right? who showed you that was right? And they was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a number of things that can go along with generational curses.
Like, I think we have a really bad misconception of like what the Black family should look like.
That
too. Like from even what we've been seeing, just throwing it out there. I really don't know how much of it's true or not. The Bill Cosby shit. Everybody
touch on Bill.
Everybody grew up watching the Cosby Show. I wasn't one of those kids, but everybody saw that as the perfect Black family, from what I heard, from what I understand. But now everybody look at it like, damn, he was doing all that on the low. That man is like, unfortunately, that's how it was in the Black community for a lot of people. Like, think about it. The Temptations wrote a whole song about it. Papa was a Rolling Stone. A whole song about it. Like, it was something that was just going on and on and on. And like what I started to realize was like the mothers of the women in the family were really the glue for the most part. Like from back in the day, they were keeping the family together, I guess.
True, but also being the glue, a lot of times you become very passive.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of old school women, and I can say this because I know women that was the glue, but very passive. And what I mean by passive, certain things went on and no one brought it to the table.
Like how a lot of these
sweeping a lot of stuff under the rug.
Yeah, a lot of these older people was raping these children, and nobody actually believed in the kids or taking the adult side, and or let's say like just not even mentioning that shit to the whole family.
You know what? A lot of times, it's getting deep already. Anyway, we're only about 6 minutes in. You went talking about raping.
I mean, no, no,
No,
honestly, because like I've dealt with somebody that had that experience, and I actually went through that with her.
Right. Okay.
So, but she didn't tell anybody this until she was older, like until she was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand like how traumatizing that can be.
Yeah.
You know, like you like everybody just against you. You know, not like keeping it under the like on the hush, and it's actually something that really needs to be like put out here because first and foremost, these people got feelings. Just because I'm a kid doesn't mean I have feelings, you know?
But when you know what? Feelings.
Mm-hmm.
When you a predator
mm-hmm.
and you are well aware of what you're going to do, you don't give a fuck about feelings.
Right.
Feelings is non-existent.
But what I'm saying is though, like let's say for her, like if I tell you that something happened with so and so, like if I tell my parent that something happened with so and so, that shit should be out there for everybody, and it should be like, you know, like this is what is going on.
But you know what? You can't. You can
can't
only
what?
speak on what you would do.
All right, but you can't. Why? Why wouldn't you though?
Don't work like that.
Why wouldn't you though?
Fear.
Fear what?
You have to tell that traumatized person that only they can answer you that.
All right, but my thing is, why is it okay to not put it out there? Why is it okay to not put it out there?
Okay, let me tell you why. Because now we back.
Okay.
The kid doesn't feel heard in the household.
Okay.
The kid doesn't have a right kind of opinion.
And that's something that I feel is really messed up in the black household.
The child cannot communicate with their parent, and that all rising to generational curses because we come from, well, not we, our parents come from, and you know, their parents, you know, stay out of grown folks' mouths.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who you talking to? You can't call me no liar. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You ain't got no business in that. You was brought up not to have that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So being raised like that, because it comes from home, being raised like that, you're gonna teach that to your kid. Yeah. So when something does, and that's why I say it's so dangerous not to have a relationship with your children, because when your child feel like they can't talk to you about nothing, that is the scariest shit ever, because anything can happen.
Yeah, and
anything can happen. I can't talk to my mama about this because I'm scared of the repercussions of what she's going to do. Not me being scared of what just happened to me. I'm scared that I can't say nothing.
Yeah, like I've been going through it majority of my life, like with my pops, honestly.
So it's like they can only teach what they've been taught. You can only teach what you've been taught. So with that being said, in order to change your surroundings, you got to change your surroundings.
But at the end of the day, why was it ever okay to sweep that underneath the rug? Why? It's...
To me, it's never okay. It was made seem as if that was okay. That's why the rug is as big as a fucking mountain in people's lives and households, because there's so many family secrets and so much family trauma that we can't even bring our own kids up properly.
How do you feel about the family secrets coming out when you turn 18, or like once you become an adult? Like, was that something that happened for you? Like,
you know what? I gotta smile because I gotta talk about my mama now. There wasn't anything my mama did not know.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anything that me and my mama did not talk about. So I knew everything that people think I don't know because my mama knew everything. So to certain people, it was like family secrets. But to me, it was like, oh, my mama didn't tell me about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She talked to me young. Like, I'm 4 years old, and I remember her sending me to my stepdad's, his people house.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me flat out, if anybody touch you here, you tell me. Because I'm chopping the motherfucking head off. She told me just like that. If somebody patted my head, I was going to tell. I'm telling you, that's how in fear I was of not saying anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had that type of relationship with my mama. I was in fear of not saying something. Oh, I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell. So it wasn't nothing that I did not know on with as far as family secret goes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no family secret to me because my mom told me about that. Mm-hmm. So, and she always wanted me to be alert and aware of everything, even if I was walking home. You know what I'm saying? Just of everything, people, because she knew who was laying like that. And when I say she talked to me when I was 4, my cousin on my stepdad's side made a status. And she said that she was quoting somebody, but she was saying it's a lot of rapists and a lot of child molesters on his side of the family.
Mm.
I ain't trying to put them out there, but on his side of the family. And she said, in quotation, she said, oh, just pray for them. She was like, no, lock their ass up. Now, my mama told me that how these motherfuckers was laying, so I know she not lying. And she's friends with everybody, every family member on there seen it. Nobody commented, nobody liked it, nobody spoke up, nobody said anything. And I was like, damn. I see her all the time setting up little family meetings and family picnics and this, that, and the third. You mean to tell me all y'all like these pictures, but y'all ain't comment on this girl's status? And she was talking about y'all family?
Yeah.
And my mama told me this shit, and I'm 4 years old. And now I'm just now hearing about little stuff that's going on that side of the family that's really just now coming to surface. Like, damn.
Like, I didn't really know a lot of the stuff that was going on with my family because my mama was the backbone of the family. Like, she ran my family. I say ran because my mama died when I was 17. That's cool. But so when she passed away, like all the shit started hitting the fan. Like I knew certain things, like man, like I didn't realize how bad the dynamic was because like if I would have knew how bold my granddad was doing shit, how a lot of my older aunts and uncles was doing shit.
Oh yes.
I definitely would have had a completely different perspective. Like it was a lot for me because it was just like it was so much that it was just put on my plate at the time. Like my mom passed, all these things coming out at once. Like so it's like, dog, who the fuck is who are y'all people? Like
and that's how you be looking at people too.
Like dog.
When you don't know, you got a different outlook. When you don't know,
because mind you, my mama was protecting me, like from I guess that's what she felt because I used to always be with my granddad. I love my granddaddy to death. Like it is what it is.
Right.
I can't change nothing in the past, but I used to always be with my granddad, but I didn't understand why nobody else wasn't like hanging out with my granddad or coming to see my granddad or contacting my granddad. So then when she passed away, I started understanding things. Like I understand his perspective on his side, and I understand everybody else's side. And I'm just like, dog. Like I don't know how.
That's deep.
But at the end of the day, I will say this though, that we do love each other though. My family do love each other. But it's crazy.
You know, every family got some type of dysfunction to it. You know, everybody, ain't Cosby's or just, you know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody walking no fine line out here. Everybody got some sort of dysfunction. That's why it's like when you do know, you can't nobody run nothing by you when you already know how somebody wins. Can't nobody in the family tell me anything that my mama has not already told me. So I already know how you act. I already know what you gonna do. I already know what you gonna say. I already know what you gonna pull. So it's like I appreciate it knowing so I don't be blindsided by foolishness or in the middle of something and I ain't got no business into and I ain't even, like it's just, it's a whole lot when you know what's up.
Right.
But when you don't know what's up, you really just like pray. You pray for anything. Anything. When you're not well aware, if nobody's talking to you, if you don't have no voice in your household. And I know some people raise their kids, they do the best they can.
I definitely didn't. Like, my mama made all my decisions for real. For the most part. Oh, yeah. For the most part.
How are you out here living life?
Man, like for real.
So I know it was a quite a transition for you after she passed. I know it was like
because everything was like everything was put on me. Like I had to take over everything, house, everything, whole estate, everything.
Really?
Yep. Like at 17.
That's a lot on your shoulders at
17. Tore my ACL. I was at school in Iowa. Just tore my ACL the month prior.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Who's there?
I was playing football at the University of Iowa.
Okay, as long
I was
as
playing
you
football.
playing some, I was going to stay in Iowa now.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then all that it was just like shit was really crashing. And I'm just like, fuck, where do we go from here?
That's crazy.
Like, where do we go from here? Like
17, that's a lot on your shoulders.
So,
17,
like,
I was worried about homework.
I couldn't even think about that. Like, I mean, mind you, like,
it
was
no,
too much.
You can't.
And then, but like, mind you, once she passed away, the next day is when everything just like it turned on blast, like boom. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Damn.
Like it's a lot of people I don't fuck with in my family. There's a lot of people I don't fuck with in my family. Like, hey, what's up? I'm up.
That's it.
I'm good. Like
now. It's a lot of people, and I can only speak from my narrative and my perspective. I can't really speak I can speak in general as well. I can't really speak in nobody else's narrative. Now, I seen for myself and was well aware of certain stuff that was going on my side of the family that people have done and that was done shit to my mom, how people treated her, certain things like that. And I watched how their kids now are growing up and raising their kids and, and I see from hearing what she said and seeing what she, told me, I can see where it's stemming from.
Okay.
And they can only teach what they've been taught. And they can only love how they was loved.
Do you think it's an issue with do you think it's an issue with like people, like it's being a lot of people in one family in relationships, but like just common law relationships and not actually getting married.
Well, first, what is married?
Like actually, like the whole, you know,
Wedding
and everything, and the whole.
Okay, I'm all for marriage. Let's
Okay.
just put that out there. I'm all for marriage. Me, I do not that saying that I'm against common law or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe that belongs on paper.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, marriage is really just a wedding to some people.
Okay.
Because we in a generation now that we ain't being brought up in no married household or anything like that.
So we don't even know what married look like, real talk. Like,
we don't even know. And then when the married that we know what looks different in everybody's household. Because you got some married people that's doing them. You got some married people that's just can't get along, but they gonna stay married because it's on that paper and they own it. You know, they in it for an agenda. This motherfucker guy, I'm getting everything.
But at the end of the day, that marriage is a business. It's a business.
That's a business too. That's definitely a business too.
Which is cool. But like,
I ain't got a problem.
Like, all right. So would you like? So you would be cool with like if you didn't get married? Is that or
if we are married mentally, that's all that matters. Physically is the ring, the whole shebang. I don't mind having a ring, but we have to be mentally connected, mentally married.
Like you don't need the ring.
I don't need the wedding. I want one. Don't need it though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a want, not a need.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of all the shebang, are we gonna make this last? Are we in it to make it work? Are we mentally connected enough? Because some people get married and they just find out who the fuck they with.
Yeah.
They really just finding out who they are with because you got married because of convenience.
Convenience.
You wanted us to see that you are happy. You making a statement to other people, but make that statement with you and that other person first. Like, for an example, I just seen this earlier today. You know how everybody. I ain't seen Love and Hip Hop. I ain't been watching it. I don't know, but I do. Follow certain stuff that go on with certain people, whatever. Okay. Safari and Erica Mena. Now, we off topic a little bit. We on topic, but we off. How he chased Erica down. Expressed his love, confessed his love, whatever the case may be. They sat up here and had a baby, had this big shebang wedding, nice as hell, sharp, everything, glitz and glam. Mm-hmm. Money spent. Right. Down the drain. Mm-hmm. Can't get it back. Mm-hmm. Can't even let it follow you to your funeral. Mm-hmm. It's gone. For a show, for eyes to see. But now she on her second baby, third baby, but second baby by him. And he's like, he didn't want the second baby. You don't know who you with. Or either you do know who you with and you just disacknowledge because y'all was married, he gonna settle and have this other baby with me. Now, you don't know who you with because he wasn't happy about the other baby, so I have seen. And then I also been seeing that he hasn't been present while she's been in the hospital with, enduring and going through the labor and after labor and all this stuff. He's been absent. He's been partying or, whatever, whether it's true or not. Mm-hmm. What does it really mean? What does marriage really mean?
Like from what? Social media shows? Don't mean shit.
Now, with social media shows, doesn't mean nothing. I take heed, and I love seeing like an older couple, and I ask them, how long y'all been married? And they hit me with like 48 years, 50 years. And I'm like, okay, you can't get that history with nobody. Mm-hmm. But we live in the world where we can't make nothing last.
Because we're so willing to drop something to go to the next thing.
True that. And that too. But when they say 48 years,
mm-hmm.
do you know how much shit, and stop the cussing a little bit, but do you know how much shit happens in that span that either party has to deal with from one another, that they made it work?
Yeah.
To say I've been married for 48 years?
A lot.
A whole lot.
See,
because half of them been knowing each other about 10 years prior, so they be really Xing that out, you know what I'm saying? Or, a couple years prior, or however, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't seen that. We ain't grew up with that. We didn't, we don't take heed into that or into listening to what they say on what makes it work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own way of making it work. But this is how the generational curse, well, it started from slavery, but this is how the generational curses is continuing and just going as far as it's going right now.
I think, I'm going to tell you where I really think it started. It started back, and it was a story I was reading, it was a while back. But when, back in slavery, the masters...
Prison. I'm going to call it prison now, because it gave me a new outlook.
Okay. Slavery.
Slavery is so belittling. For real.
I gotta stick with it right now. Slavery.
For the audience. For the audience.
Slavery, they would literally take the male and take his wife and fuck her in front of him. Literally.
No. Take that back.
Why?
Because excuse my language, he ain't fuck her. Take her back. Take that back.
Oh, that.
If you gonna rehash history,
I apologize.
Take it back.
I apologize.
I gotta hold you accountable now.
I apologize.
Sorry. Not sorry.
The slave master would take the black man, the slave, take his wife and rape her in front of him. The trauma that I've never experienced it, but I can understand how that would lead to just consistent trauma through generations. I think obviously slavery is the stem of it all, I believe. I do believe slavery is the stem of it all from generational curses.
When you strip a man from his
pride, his dignity, and literally the fact that I don't feel like I can protect my woman, he's worthless. That's the feeling that men have. That's what it is.
Not all men, but the ones who are not
the ones that
holding themselves accountable, we'll put them in those shoes. We ain't gonna say all men, because I don't know all men to say that. And I'm not statistically speaking, so I don't want to put that out there. But
I'm gonna say
we are asleep.
I'm gonna say all men.
All men. You gonna hold them accountable?
I'm gonna say
that's your favorite cousin, all men. That's your favorite cousin. He said that's coming from him live near a hood near you. Anyway, I'm gonna put it like this: when you strip a man from his dignity, his pride, starting from that time, and that's what they seen for 400 plus years, we seeing that today. So we really in modern day slavery right now. And that's what our jobs, our households,
speaking of
the benefits that we collect from the state.
You know that right now, minimum wage, people can't even afford to live in America right now. Minimum wage people, majority of them are black, which is crazy. I mean, go ahead, my bad.
And then at this time, we kind of well aware and we know enough. We put our energy to what we want to put our energy into. So a lot of stuff that we going through now, we can't even point the finger. We got to really kind of put thumbs up and point at us because it's our fault. It's enough influence out here. It's enough influence out here. That's all I need to say for us to tune in. Information. It's enough of everything for us. Funds, learning, but we just don't know how to kind of put each other on and talk to each other. We can't network with each other because we compete.
But see, even with that, like, it's two sides to that, in my opinion. Like with the, like, you know, there is an abundance of information out here for us to learn.
Okay.
But think about it. Some people that go through a lot of shit that don't actually ever get the help that they need. How can you tell somebody that's like mentally just out of there that, you know what, it's still too much information out here for you to just be, boom, I don't want to do that shit. Like, think about, like, you probably don't even ride by my man's, ride by here, but 8 Mile and Woolworth at the Meyer. It's this homeless guy that's been there like for like 8 years. I want to say they had did a story on him a while back, and like his mom and his parents died when he was a kid, and literally just been out there. So some people really just be like mentally gone and don't really aren't interested in the information that's provided. So
that's out of my control. I can't. It's out of my control because I can only influence and reach my peers, and you know, my reach can go as far as it's gonna go with my peers or people, you know, over them. People that's been here, live their lives and seen the influence and seen the impact. You know, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Farrakhan. You know, saying they seen the impact that they could have, and you already lived your life. Why do I have to, you know, why do I feel that's out of my control? I can't reach you. I can only reach who I'm gonna reach. So whatever they gonna do, that's what they gonna do. And if you mentally out of it, then there's nothing to be done. But you have to seek your own help, or at least have people that love you enough to get help for you. So they don't want to see you bad and down and out. But other than that, it's nothing I can really do. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I get it. You mentioned something earlier though. You were talking about like not being able to talk to your parents though.
Not being able to talk to your parents.
That's
not having a relationship with your parents is so critical, so crucial. It's just, I don't even know what that feel like. But I've seen it.
I'm going through it.
I'm praying for you, Rube. No, seriously, because
going through
it's so dangerous, especially for our young men and our young women, especially for us, because not saying that y'all don't go through, you know, what y'all go through, and it's, you know, a lot on y'all shoulders. So y'all really need that, you know, that how to be a black man living in America today, because it's crucial. Shit, we are we about to be extinct. They trying to
they definitely
we
trying.
Are what they call them
endangered species.
Endangered species. That's what we are, especially the black woman.
Yeah.
Now, I got cousins. Can't talk to their mama about. I can't even talk to their mama about shit because without it being misconcepted or misinterpreted into an argument. Like me being as young as I am, I'm very wise. Like I listen to a lot, I read a lot. So I may sound like I know it all, but I don't. But I do know shit. I know shit, you know what I'm saying? I know my shit and I know what I'm talking about, and I don't talk just for fun. I talk because I'm accurate most of the time, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I observe and I pay attention to energy. They can't talk to me mama about shit.
I can't talk like
nothing. And they young, like coming of age girls.
Okay. I mean, Well, let's see. Now, I can't talk to my pops like I would love to. Like, I don't have
Being
that
as
father.
grown as you is, you can't talk to your daddy.
I don't have that father. We don't, like, me and my dad is more like roommates than father son, in my opinion.
Has it always been like that?
I feel like it has. Like, honestly, like.
Don't feel, no. Feel. Don't feel, no.
When I moved back, first time, 2014, yeah, like me and him never had like the strongest relationship coming up. Like we was just we was on two different paths.
Was
like,
him and your mom together?
Working. Yeah, they was always together. Like I grew up in a two-parent household. Like my upbringing was straight. Like I'm not gonna say I had a bad upbringing or anything like that, or at least from what the portrayal was good. Because there's still some shit that I heard that I can't confirm. It can't be confirmed because my mother's dead.
Let's get into it.
My mother's dead, so I can't confirm it. So
well,
we're gonna leave that alone.
A lot of stuff that I know, because I know I would like to ask again because there's some stuff that I remember, but I can't remember. But I know for sure.
We'll probably talk about it later. But yeah, like. Me and him just don't have that father-son relationship where I want to talk to him about shit. Like I seek my cousins or somebody else. Like, and even when sometimes I don't even feel like okay talking with my cousins, and that's just it's just not being able to communicate with like older men.
You know how to communicate, but you were. Trained.
I was trained not to.
Not. Oh no.
I was my bad. I ain't mean to.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no. Like,
I was saying that. That's what I was saying. Favorite cousin.
My bad.
He got a little crazy, but it's not that you can't because you can. Because if you can sit down and start a conversation with me, and I can start a conversation with you and get you to open up, I can sit down. Now, me being as grown as I am, and then I know I don't have a relationship or never had a relationship with somebody, I can ask them and be open enough to be like, listen, I feel this way, unless the person doesn't know how to communicate at all and don't know how to receive what you're saying. Well, I feel as if we never had no type of communication. I never felt like we had a relationship. I didn't never know how to express myself to you now, so I'm expressing myself to you right now because I didn't know how. I was trained not to, or not to have an opinion. So that played a part in your life today. You don't even trust yourself talking to your damn cousins. Mm-hmm. Your cousins.
I mean, it's like, I'm serious.
Closest thing to a sibling.
What if I told you I've done that? What if I told you?
You told me you done it, and what that cousin do?
No, I'm just talking about it with my pops.
Oh, so how did that work out?
They walked away from the conversation.
Oh my God. Okay, so that leads me to believe.
So mind you, and this is what I want. Like, I don't want y'all to ever think that like I don't feel like my dad's a bad person or anything like that, because it goes back layers for me.
Exactly.
Like when I look back at it, yes, I still would love for us to have a relationship, but when I look at it, my dad, his father died when he was 2 years old. He never even had a father figure in his house.
Okay.
So he went to the war, Vietnam, born like back in the day. Oh, like he's been through 65. Been through the war, had cancer, had heart problems, had everything. You know, my dad from back in the day. You know, old people are stubborn. They stuck in their ways at the end of the day.
So your dad is old school.
Yeah, old school. And that's what I have to understand. And also, you know, at the end of the day, he gonna do what he wanna do. Like, my logic and his logic is just two different logics because he's from a different era. I think one way, he thinks another.
So you basing his error off of him not being able to communicate and him not and losing his dad,
Because I've never been able to be right with him. Never been able to be right with him. Even if it's like blatant, like I'm right, never can be right with him.
I ain't got nothing to say. I was gonna diagnose your daddy too, but I ain't got nothing to say.
I mean, like at this point, it's like
he's really old and stuck in his ways, and he.
Well, I love him to death though. Y'all like
he wasn't shown what it was to have. If you lose your daddy too.
He never had that relationship.
You don't remember no relationship. You don't remember anything. You grow up, go to the war, you get hardened. You come back totally different. I feel like, how was him and your mom relationship?
From what I remember.
What was portrayed, you say?
What was portrayed, it was decent. It was good. You know, like I didn't.
Did he love your mom?
Yeah, I definitely believe. I believe he loved. Yes.
Do he love you?
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's what I be like. You know what? I love him. I know he loved me. You know, I still wish that we were able to communicate like father son, where I was like okay to talk to him about like a problem I was having. Like it was even with my ex. Like my ex lived with us. And
she seen it firsthand.
Yeah, she seen it, but like, what not even that. Like even when me and her was having issues, I didn't even feel comfortable talking to him about it. We was in the same house. Like seriously, like it was just like
so
that.
Crazy to me, but very common. It's so common, but it's crazy because it's like, damn.
So
I stay in the same house, but we all seen it. We, you know what I'm saying, we went through it, whatever. You stay in the same house with somebody, and you can't talk or vent or tell them nothing. You can't even tell them what's going on, what type of problems you having. Nothing. Just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finally do try to talk to them and open up and, you know, you grown enough for opinion now, you feel like laying some shit on the table. They walk away from the conversation. That hurt.
Yeah, like damn, like
that hurt.
Like,
but at least you know what not to do.
Right.
Now I tell people all the time, it don't matter. I don't care what you seen. When you get out here and get grown, you got a decision to make, because you should never want to feel like what made you feel, you know what I'm saying, down and low, or what you seen that made you feel a certain way. You should never want to put yourself or feel like that again. You should never want to be in something that what you seen somebody else, if you seen your mama hurt. Like, you know, you got a lot of men that think it's okay to hit women because they seen they daddy do it, or mama kept attracting abusive boyfriends and they kept doing it. Or, you know, whatever the case may be. You got men that think that's okay because that's what they seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, but that's all they know.
That's all they know. Yeah. But my thing is, they don't think about it from their mother's standpoint. How did your mother feel? What did you feel when your mama was laying there crying? So that should trigger some on, oh, I'm not going to do that. And some people say that, like, my mama was an abuser. I say my mama get hit. I ain't put my hands on no woman.
Mm-hmm. But see, you can't say, I don't think you can say that it should trigger that trauma.
I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wish it was that easy to say, like, you know what, I seen my mama getting her ass beat like that.
Not her ass beat. Damn, chill on mine. Don't say it so harsh like that. I seen my mama in domestic.
You don't.
I didn't say ass beat. I just said beat.
I seen my mama getting beat. You know, like, yes, it should be a response. Like, I don't ever want to put a woman through this, but that's not necessarily the case.
Because
especially if it's repetitive,
if they want to justify their actions for it being repetitive, that's why you justify your actions by saying, "Oh, I seen such a," like, what makes you think that was wrong? I mean, that was right. What made you think that was right? So now you got a decision to make whether you are or you not. Simple as that. And it's easier said than done, but it's also easier done than said too. So I feel like everybody got a decision to make. And a lot of people don't change their surroundings soon enough for that transition to be made, or for certain stuff to be certain patterns to be broken.
But see, but the thing is, majority of us, I think we get exposed to them early, but like we really start to understand and like feel them when we like become of age, like between like that teenager time to be an adult. And then that's when the feelings really start coming out, the resentment, or, like, if, okay, you know what, I got the empathy for what my mom was going through or my dad was going through.
Right.
Like that's when the feelings start coming out once they start becoming of age. That's what I think. It could be sooner. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, all I know is a lot of stuff is too late. Because when I was talking about my cousin, like her daughters is growing up now. And I'm nervous for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? You can't talk to her about nothing. A lot of stuff is swept under the rug. A lot of stuff cannot be addressed because communication will not be taken, to heart or to heed, because another person can't receive what someone else is saying because they so-called don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They know enough to know when, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So now her children, like I was talking to her daughter, and she got a little guy friend or a little boyfriend, whatever. She was telling me some stuff he did, and she was like, "Well, his faggot ass." Huh? He just doing faggot ass shit, bitch ass shit. Huh? I said, "Do he call you out your name?" She said, "No." I said, "He ain't never called you out your name?" She said, "No." I was shocked because
she was so
I'm thinking that, yes. I said, "Do he know that you?" I had dig deep, like, "Do he know you call him this?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "Do he be telling you to watch your mouth?" I have to ask this before I just go in and say what I'm gonna say. She's like, "Yeah, he be doing some fat ass shit." So I'm like, "Deanna, if he don't call you out of your name, do not call that man out of his." Now that goes back to stripping that man from his pride, and you know what I'm saying, and don't know how to talk to. I said, that's not cute. Ain't nobody gonna want to be in your face if you have that type of mouth. Who gonna want to lay with you? Who gonna want to conversate or take you out if every time he do something that you don't like, quit that faggot ass shit? And
yeah, like damn, like what the fuck?
And then that you don't know how
like,
he gonna take that in public. You might get
so
fast you don't even know who the hell hit you. But her mama, yo bitch ass, yo like
where it stem from?
I said, you starting to sound like I told her, like, you starting to sound real familiar. And I told them y'all relationships is gonna be familiar. Everything y'all do, if y'all don't make y'all decisions properly and kind of steer your path from what you used to seeing and what you used to being around to something different. Never talking to them about their period. Never expressing I love you. I can't say this. I'm quoting what they say. Never just engaging and giving them game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We telling them to go to school and get their education, but get them ready for them streets too, because outside of when you're not with them, Other people are influencing your kids, believe it or not. Simple as that. When you're not with your kid, best believe wherever your kid at, whether it's in school and it's other students, whether it's in school and it's other teachers, whether it's at a cousin's house and aunties and uncles, other people are going to teach your kids, raise your kids, and influence your kids.
Most people let the TV influence their kids anyway. So
yeah, I know people that ain't even I take my baby to the park. This how I know people just ain't involved and don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
My big ass, when I take my baby to the park, my big ass, I'm going down the slide. We're going to swing. We going to run around this play set. We going to push these other kids out the way on the lows. We going to climb these monkey bars. I'm, engaging. I see parents pull up to the park. Go on out there and play.
Mm-hmm. You go get blowed in the parking lot. You go get blowed in the
Why
parking lot. Why you
bring your kid if you knew this was going to be some recreational time for you?
For real, don't get me wrong. Yes, kids supposed to play with kids, but also you need to be interacting with your kid as well. I do feel like that. And yes, I am speaking to somebody that don't have a kid, but I just be like, bro. Most of y'all be leaving y'all babies with their grandparent, and y'all be out here doing what y'all do.
For real.
Don't spend no time with y'all kids because y'all be at work and they be at school doing whatever they
Getting
do. Getting
And
influenced. then when y'all come home and actually get together, y'all ain't even interacting.
Listen, because at school, we learned about all type of shit. We was saying all type of shit at school. We was comfortable cussing at a very, very early age because that was our quote unquote little freedom when the teachers and stuff went around. That was, our quote unquote little freedom. You got parents, my recreational time, I ain't even involving my kid. This is my me time right here. I'm doing whatever grown-ups do, not in front of my baby. Even when I was grown, I wasn't pulling up at no park, smoking in front of nobody. I don't even smoke in front of my own baby. I ain't smoking in front of your kid. I'm sorry. It's just certain stuff that I just choose not to do because they have to see different.
Yeah.
They definitely got to see different, and we got to show them different. Because how we putting our future in their hands, how we think we about to get taken care of, and we treating our kids like shit and calling them all out their name and putting men before our kids. That's a whole nother topic, being dick dumb. You got women being dick dumb, and when you so dick dumb, you don't believe nothing your kids say. That man could touch that baby, be abusing that baby. You so dick dumb, you don't. Not Tyrone. Tyrone don't even hit me. What made?
Thank you guys for tapping in with us on the EMBRACEU channel. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and turn on those notifications so you can stay up to date with our latest content. Be sure to use those promo codes before they expire on our site. Until then, we'll see y'all next week on the EMBRACEU podcast.